Don't Go Breaking My Heart. It's a good song. Hello, hello, hello. A bit croaky this evening, but it doesn't matter. I'm still here. Wait for a few people to come on. Hello, hello. I can see somebody. Thank you, Angela. I'm playing the song Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Kiki D, Elton John, one of my favourites. We always expect, or we always hope that people won't go breaking our hearts, but during our lifetime, I think that happens many times, which is very sad. Okay, I'll stop it. Hello, Ness. Nice to see you. Let me switch this off. That was one of my favourite songs, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, by Elton John and Kiki V. I remember many years ago going in for a talent competition at a hospital, and one of the nurses that worked with my mum actually sang that song. It was just beautiful. She was very, very clever. Happy birthday to me. Thank you. Yeah, look, instead of going out partying, I'm talking to you lot here today, and I'm very excited about that. So, hello, Ian. Yeah, it's I celebrated yesterday and the day before. So Saturday night was spent with 5 beautiful ladies, and we just I call them my angels now, Val's angels, and we sat around dinner table and putting the world to rights, which was lovely. We did get joined by Ian, who was in his dressing gown, which was quite funny. And then yesterday I spent the day with my family, and we went to the beach in the morning. Now, some of you may have seen the photograph of me with the Valentine hunk, and it was actually my son-in-law. So some of you were fooled, and some of you weren't. So some of you actually knew who Paul was, but I thought it was a good excuse. You know, it's really funny. When I first came over to Australia, I used to do all sorts of weird and wonderful things and travel everywhere. Oh, hi, Lorraine. Lovely to see you again. And I used to go to beaches, and I used to get my photograph taken with lifeguards on every beach I went to. And I haven't done it for such a long time, and I thought, what a great opportunity to do it. And of course, Paul looked so much bigger than me and hunky, so that was rather lovely to do that. And well, do you know what was really lovely? I love family and how family and children respond. And so the 2 girls came down with myself and my daughter, and they saw Daddy in the distance. Oh my gosh, they belted down the sand. And it was his response as well. You know, even though he was there being the big macho lifeguard, he wasn't embarrassed or whatever. He picked them up, threw them around. The next thing, he put them in the little cart and, you know, wheeled them up and down the beach, and they were squealing with delight. So it was just really lovely to do that. And then we came home, spent some time at home, and then had a big dinner in the night time. And if any of you have seen my photographs, for my 2 little granddaughters were singing me happy birthday, and the little one at the end, she goes, happy birthday, dear Nanny, happy birthday to you, hip hip hooray, as if she was blowing a candle out. It was just absolutely magical. I love spending time with children. They are so innocent, funny, beautiful. Yeah, and I was just saying, you know, about that song, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, and I think a lot of us have broken hearts through our lifetimes, and, you know, sometimes we bring on ourselves, and sometimes we get given it, and it's really, really tough, isn't it? Life is tough. So thank you for all the birthday wishes. That is really lovely. Bella and Gillian's in Qatar, Bella's in the Blue Mountains, Lorraine's in Sydney, Ian's in the UK. Let me have a look again at the top of the list. Ness, I'm not sure where you're from. Let us know where you're from. Angela is in Sydney as well. So do let us know where you're from. And if you've got any questions that you would like to be answered, I'll try to do my best to answer them. And if I can't, I'll tell you I can't, because I'm very honest in that respect. Thanks, Lorraine. But do let me know if you've got any questions to ask. Now, some of you last week will know that I had, she's a little cutie. Yes, she is, Ian. You're right. They all are, actually. So some of you were with me last week, and I had some technical issues. Well, would you believe that free Spotify becomes not free after a period of time? And it's probably a year since I put it on. And they've decided that from now on I've got to pay. And what is frustrating as crazy is on my computer I have paid for Spotify. So just for tonight I have paid for it to go on, so I can use it on here, and then I'll go and sort it out tomorrow. So I just hate that when technology doesn't work, but I couldn't work it out. I took it off, put it back on, took it off, put it back on. And then I thought, I wonder if that's the answer. And it was. I hadn't paid for it, so I was getting it free, and the free ran out. Hello, Sandra, and happy birthday. Yes, I've had a great day. Thank you. I've been busy as, and we celebrated your birthday the other night, of course. And Bella, I'm coming up on Friday to celebrate your birthday. All these Aquarians around me. It's rather exciting. So, excuse me snuffling, we've got wind again, and that really affects my sinuses. So if I sniff and sneeze, you'll have to excuse me. Okay, questions. Let me have your questions. That's really, really important, and I'll try my best to do to answer them. Now, I was directed to read a book this week. The beautiful Jenny Doherty, who's on Brett's Church tomorrow night, Connecting Spirits, and I'll put the link up for that later on. She said, oh, very good read. And I went and had a look at the list of books, because I've read, they're by Rhonda Byrne. Yes, I am, Bella. And Rhonda Byrne wrote a book called The Secret. Now, this book in 2008, she actually wrote the book in 2006, and I didn't see it till 2008. Somebody gave it to me and said, read this, it'll change your life. And anyway, he gave it to me, and he went away, and then I saw him again, and he said, have you read the book? And I went, yeah. He said, no, you haven't. And I hadn't. So he said, please read it, and please pay attention to it. So I sort of skipped through it as opposed to reading it properly. And anyway, that I took everything in the book into consideration, and I worked on it. Now, it is a book about the power of positive thought, and it was interesting because I was reading some reviews on it on Wikipedia, and they weren't very good. But I would beg to differ with the people who wrote those reviews, because I think with all of us, in fact, I know if we have a positive attitude to anything and everything, it changes our lives. Now, with the Secret, it said, create a vision board. If you want things to happen, make them happen in your mind. See them as already there. And I did that. So I've told you this before. In 2008, I had the voices in my head, as you do, saying, give up your work, give up your house, give up your country, go to Australia and teach. And I remember standing in my kitchen when all of these voices came into my head, and I remember screaming at the top of my head at them, Spirit, and saying, because I got used to voices in my head by that time, I still get them, and I'm not crazy. I know them to be truly spirit connections. I'll talk about something else in a second related to that. Anyway, I stood there and I screamed at Spirit, and I said, how the hell is that going to happen? I got so angry. I've got no skills, no qualifications. I'm too old. I've not got any money. It's never going to happen. But anyway, I've just read the book, The Secret. So I thought, well, if the book is telling me that I've got to be positive, let's be positive about this. So I got my diary, and I'm sure I've talked about this recently, but please forgive me because I'm going to repeat it anyway. And I drew a line in every date in November. I chose November, don't ask me why, and I wrote a line with Australia on every page. And thank you for having the courage to action. Lucky for us, and lucky for me as well, because it's the best thing I ever did. Anyway, And I just sort of sat back and waited, to see what happened. And hello, Dee. The world wasn't giving anything to me, and this was in December, so this was just before Christmas, which was awful for me because there was no money. I was in a real situation. Anyway, I won't bore you with all of that. But January, February, March, April, May, June went, and June was there, and I got an email from somebody who I had actually emailed 7 years previously, and I'd said to him, I have been telling this story, but I don't think it was on here. But I'll talk about this. I've been doing so much work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and my poor brain doesn't know whether I'm Arthur or Martha at the moment. It's quite interesting. Anyway, so my lovely friend Jeff, who's become a very, very good friend, emailed me and said, I'm coming to England. And that was all he said. So I messaged him and said, when are you coming? What airport? I'll pick you up. And he did. So he came to my house and stayed for 3 nights in over a period of 3 weeks, and happened to see me work on those 3 nights and said, oh, you should come to Australia. And that's where it happened. I said, well, I've actually put it in my diary. He said that's the wrong time. So we changed it to February, and instead of 4 weeks, which is what I had put in, I think I actually came for 9 weeks, which was incredible. And that was the start of my journey. Now, I never imagined in a million years that I would be living in Australia at this point in time. And that was 2008 was 12 years ago. And it's interesting because today I had an astrology chart done, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And she talked about 12 years ago was the beginning of a cycle, which I've just come out of. And I'm about to go back into another cycle, which is going to be as magical and as what's the word I want to give? So this was very poignant, this 12 years, even though I've had some bad things happen, but the coming to Australia for me was the magical thing. So I'm going to get another 12 years of magic happening, and it all starts now, which is super exciting. So watch this space, because I know there's going to be some big things happening. Anyway, so that was the secret. The secret was, you put it out there, you make it happen. You put it on a vision board. And I know the first vision board, Prolific, thank you. The first vision board that I did, I left it on my wall in the kitchen, and I just thought, yeah, it's not going to happen. And 3 months later, I just happened to look at it and went, oh my gosh, I've got that. And I thought, oh, so I took it down, changed it, took off the things that I already had and put some new things up. And I've been doing them regularly. I've got one here to change because I now, after doing my horoscope or my astrology chart, I know that there's things that I need to change. So that was for me very, very powerful. But the power I didn't realize was written in 2010, and it's only just come across my path. But she's got a book called The Magic and the Hero. And if I remember rightly, the hero makes you the hero. Believe in yourself, have the power and the courage to believe in yourself. And the magic was the making the things happen around you. This is in a nutshell. But the actual power, I don't have a copy of it in front of me. I'm going to block you, Chelsea, because every now and again we get odd people who come on here, and we're not about readings, and we're not about touting for business or anything like that. It's not good. So please, will people? We're not touting for business. We're not. I can't think what the word is, but this is an educational talk. Yes, spammer. So please just ignore those. So excuse me, I had to just delete them. Hello, Jack, and thank you for the birthday wishes. Another one. Anyway, coming back to the book. So The Secret, The Magic, The Hero, and then The Power, which he wrote in 2010, which I didn't realise. And Jenny Doherty, who is going to be on with Brett tomorrow, as I said, I'm all over the place tonight. She put up, a fantastic read, just finished reading this book, The Power. So I don't have the physical book, but I'm listening to it as an audio book. And I'm driving in the car the other day, listening to the books as I do. And I'm thinking, Oh my goodness me, this is amazing because for the last 2 weeks, so last week and the week before, with my students, I've been saying, right, I want you to do a clairvoyant. So I want you to see a spirit. Then I want you to do clairaudience, and I want you to listen to what they're saying. Then I want you to do clairsentient, and I want you to feel the love and the power of the message, but feel that love. And this is what she's saying: is the world goes round with the energy of love. Now, whether I'm explaining this right or not, it doesn't matter. But this is what I've gained from it so far. And I've only got through the first few chapters. So everything that we do is based around love. And when you get that feeling of love, you feel it. You know when you're being loved. You know when you're being not loved. You know there's a complete opposite feeling. And I know I've been doing my demonstrations of mediumship recently, and I know when I can feel the spirit and I feel the love, because I go goosebumpy from head to foot. Every hair on my body stands up. It's just, I think, oh my goodness, I know they're there, but I can feel them. And I've said to spirits before, ask them to draw close. Make them stand as close to you as possible so you can feel them. So even though she's got some bad raps about the book, I actually believe that we can make things happen if we want them to happen. So like the coming to Australia, I get the voices in my head. I get told I've got to go to Australia to teach. I made it happen. And I must admit, though, through that 10-year period, when certain things were going against me, I was giving spirit a real hard time. And I know I shouted at them on more than one occasion, what are you doing? You told me I had to come here, make this happen, help me, do it, pull your finger out, whatever it was I said. And then afterwards I went, oh, I'm so sorry. But it worked against all the odds. It worked. And even when I do my demonstrations of mediumship, and I say this again to the students, I put the intention out. I want the biggest and the best, and I want it now. Don't mess me around. Don't make me look a fool, please. But I always say please and thank you, because I know that they work with me. I know how hard it is sometimes to work with a medium, and sometimes it's hard with me because I've had a bad day, or I'm not feeling 100%, but I still carry on and do the work that I've got to do. So they must have a real tough time with me, and of course I laugh and joke about things, and they're trying to get the seriousness through, and all I want to do is to show you, or show the recipient, that your loved ones have personalities and they're bringing through the fun and laughter. And I know I've said this before, but years and years ago when I first started, which is over 30 years ago, I know I'm only 21 today. I really am. I can prove it. But over the years, yeah, I want it now. But over the years, or those years ago, I saw mediums on platform, and I have a man. He tells me he's dad. He tells me this, and he tells me that. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, hurry up and get off. I want to go home. I'm bored with this. And that's not being disrespectful of the mediums, because there were some fantastic mediums in the day. But it was the way of delivery. But I think 30 years ago, it was the way to do things. It's like, when you look at the BBC TV presenters in the 1960s, they were terribly frightful, like Mr. Chumley Warmer, and they used to look a certain way and dress a certain way, and they were so serious. Whereas now you've got TV presenters who are light-hearted and fun, and they wear beautiful colours, and they have a good old laugh with one another as well as with the audience, even though they can't see them. And that's what I do. So I always vowed when I first started doing this work that I would do it with fun and laughter, because for me, laughter makes the world go round. Love makes the world go round. Love helps you to feel better, and laughter helps you to feel better. So all of these things together, put together with mediumship, wow. And that intent. If you tell spirit what you want and how you want it to work, they'll listen, because they know that there is a certain way that you're going to work and a certain way that you're going to work better with them. So why would they want to do it differently? They're working with you in a way that's going to benefit everybody, you, the recipient, and spirit, of course. So don't ever forget that, any of you mediums out there. You just put that intent out and work with spirit accordingly. Okay, so I'll come back to some of that in a minute. But today I had my horoscope done, and I do it once a year. And I'm going to put her details up because she is the most amazing lady. So Karen Taylor has been dabbling for a while, and now she's doing it as a profession, and she is really, really what are they called? The bee's knees, the ant's pants. I can't think of the rest of the phrases. Anyway, the first time I had a horoscope chart done with her, I was absolutely blown away, and I couldn't believe the accuracy, because she was looking at my past year as well as the year to come. And I was going, yeah, and then at the beginning of last year, of course, none of us knew that COVID was going to happen, but she knew that last year was going to be a difficult year, and also to be a year of change, big change. And none of us would have foreseen the big changes and the massive changes that were about to happen. So, are we still having problems with Chelsea? I did block her. Yeah, I've blocked them. Okay, so that's all right. So she was able to, say what had happened and what was coming up. So this is my third one with her. And she just told me, last year was a year of clearing out, if you like. But this year is a year of nice things. So putting my hands together on that one. And I'm really looking forward to, because she told me about planning and preparation and big things. And it's funny because in the last few weeks I've been thinking, do you know what? I'm fed up of being the underdog, if you like. And I think it's about time that I started to push myself out a little bit more. And however that's going to happen, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm gonna make some plans to do something. I've talked about books. I've talked about this. I've talked about the other. And I'm actually going to put these things into action. But also, I've decided to give myself a lot more time as well. So I've decided to take up camping and kayaking. And the camping will be giving me peace of mind away from technology to do writing. And the kayaking is to be at one with nature. And I think we should all do that from time to time. I mean, I love spending time in my garden, and that's my linking with nature. But being on the water is just, oh my goodness, it is just wonderful. I don't go on the ocean because I'm frightened of the water. But to go on rivers and lakes, for me, that is wonderful. So, maybe think about something for you that is solely for you, that will help you to feel better about yourself and your life, and to give you time to think about other things as well. And I think that is quite important. So when I look back now at the books that I'm still reading, the Power, I'm putting that intention out, that I'm going to make changes around me. Yeah, perfect time. Oh, of course, 666 is all the sixes, isn't it, Renee? Thank you for reminding me. Yes, and she did say that it is about power and planning and things like that. So yeah, I'm just going to go with this. But we can all make these things happen, but we've got to do it for ourselves. How much do you value yourself? How much do you value your time? And how much do you value getting the most out of your life? Because there are so many people, and I've watched this year, and we were talking about this in the reading earlier on. When COVID hit, there were those that went, oh, right, okay, I'm going to make all these changes, and some that went, oh, okay. And there was a clear division as far as I was concerned. There was a clear division. And I, being an Aquarian, I'm not one of those that's going to be going, oh, yeah, okay. I'm a fighter, and I'm going to get up there, and I'm going to make sure that I make things happen for me, which I did. And I must admit, I'm extremely proud of what I achieved last year, along with a lot of other people. But yeah, I think we have to look at, do we want to be a man or a mouse? And I certainly, thank you, Lorraine, I certainly want to be a man. I want to stand up and be counted. I want to make a difference in this world. And I know a lot of Aquarians, a lot of other people as well, but a lot of Aquarians, we're a bit quirky. We like to do things differently, but we also like to stand up and be counted. It still amazes me because I used to be the shyest, quietest, wouldn't say boo to a goose. And if anybody talked to me, I wanted a little hole to appear and for me to disappear down that hole. And when I look back now, I think I got to about 27 and realized that there was a big world out there and it was passing me by. And I made changes to my life to make sure that I had things around me that were going to change my life and make me happy. Because I know at that time I wasn't happy, and I wasn't going to be one of these people that, like the people that I now do readings for, they get to the end of their lives and go, if only I should have, I could have. I don't want to be one of those. I'm going to be one of those people. Like the film Titanic, where the little old lady drops that heart-shaped medallion in the water, and you'd seen her life in photographs with the things that she'd achieved in the whole of her lifetime, and she achieved masses. I want to be one of those. And listen, that's what we've all got to want to do, and we don't have to be in front of people or famous or anything like that to make that happen. We just have to want to do something for ourselves, and not be like I said, a mouse, and just go yeah. I'm gonna. Do you know what? The closer I get to death's door, and I know as we get older, that's what's happening. It seems like we're getting there. We're running there instead of crawling there. And I think that I'm going to be going kicking and screaming. I said this last week. I'm growing old very disgracefully, and I'm very proud of that, because as I grow old disgracefully, I'm making changes. I'm making changes in my own life, but I am so happy because with the work that I do, I make changes in other people's lives as well. Whether I teach the person or whether I do a reading for somebody, it makes a change, or it makes the changes to their lives. And lovely Ruth, you're a beautiful soul. And I know I did a reading for you. You've put here, I think a lot of people are feeling the need to shift into another level of energy. Yes, self-love being one of the most major shifts, and living soulfully for the good of everyone around us. Absolutely. And I know that I've given you a reading, and I know that you told me it made a difference, and it made you change, and it made you go out and start doing things differently. And I was really happy with that. And when I hear that from people, I feel really pleased that Spirit has got that message across, and Spirit has made that difference. And I was because it's not about me. I'm just a bit in the middle. I'm just the channel. And I pass the message from the spirit world to the recipient. And thank you, Angela, to you as well. Angela was in a very unhappy time or place when I first met her or did a reading. And I now look at you and think, oh my goodness, another Aquarius rising. I often say I'm weird. I'm stepping slowly into my weird uniqueness. Do you know, I love being weird. I love being different. I'm never going to be. I'm never going to form into or fall into a category, because when you put me into a box, I've got to break out of the box, and then I find something else, and then other people try and put you in a box or try and control you or try and stop you, and I fight every step of the way. So be as weird as you can, be as different as you can, make your life worth something. I'm not saying it isn't, please don't misinterpret that, but make the things that you do, thank you, Adam, for the birthday wishes. Make the things that you do in your life count. So when you do get over to the pearly gates, I mean, listen, I'm hoping to goodness I'll get to the end of my life, which I'm going to be 92, apparently, I've been told. So I've got still a whole lifetime ahead of me. So I'm going to get to the pearly gates and they're going to go, come on in, Val, you did a great job. Look at the things that you did and achieved. And I really hope that happens. And do you know what I feel? I'm veering off completely what I was going to talk about, but I feel that if we can put that love into our own lives and feel that love, and then we can share that with others, which I'm hoping is what I do on here. And I love the feedback that I get from people. Again, I'm not getting any questions, you rotten lot, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But I love the feedback that I get from you because I know you listen. I know you take on board what I'm saying. You know, some of it's crazy, but it doesn't matter. I've got the courage to do it, which is a lot of people haven't. But I think, you know, let's make our lives count. Let's make this whole existence worth it. We chose to come into this existence. Before we came into this world, the spirit world give us a choice. Well, no, they don't give us a choice, actually. They say that you have to come into this world because this is the next lesson that you've got to learn. And I'm a great believer in that every stage of our incarnations, or every incarnation, is another stage in our life or our development, but it's another rung on the spiritual ladder. That's the easiest way for me to explain it. And Lorraine just said, wow, she said the amount of people you've helped, so you'll be sitting in God's lap. Woohoo! But every time we come back, I love that, Lorraine, that's going to make me giggle all night. But every time we come back, we are given a lesson, and it is about making that next step up the spiritual ladder. So eventually we will be in the spirit world and they'll say, well, actually, you've done everything you needed to do. You've ticked all the boxes. You don't have to go back anymore. I'm hoping that is this life, because I'm trying my absolute utmost to do as much as I can. And listen, sometimes it's hard because sometimes you come across not so nice people who do bad by you, or who cause problems for you, or, you know, I've been married and divorced twice, and that was really, really painful. But I've learned from all of those experiences as well. And I know that by learning, I know that the next time something happens to me that's not so good, I know how to deal with it in a different way. And then I know not to put myself in that situation ever again. And I'm really, really trying not to do that. My issue has always been about boundaries. And I was saying to somebody yesterday, we're supposed to be taught boundaries when we're children, and that doesn't, hello Jill, that doesn't always get taught to us, which is a very, you know, a great shame. So learn your boundaries, learn what you will and won't accept, and learn to do the best you can and give out as much warmth, love, encouragement to as many people as you possibly can. Ruth just said she's apparently had 942 lives. A little slow on the uptake, Ruth. Come on, get with the program. I must admit, I've had past life regressions, and some of the past lives that I've been through are phenomenal. And some of them are very mundane, and some of them are, ooh, wow, you know, fantastic. And I love that, you know, that I've been here before. But every time you've been here, when you come back into another life, you bring a little bit of that back in you. And my chart tonight, she said to me that there was something to do with Pluto. Can't remember the wording of it now, but she said that's your past life bit that you've brought into this life. And it just so happened to be opposite something that was very fortuitous for me at this moment in time. So I'm hoping that all those past lessons have been taken on board and all been learnt. And I'm now going to get on and do the things that I need to do without the pain and hurt that have been, you know, that's been there in the past. But you know, sometimes we bring that pain and hurt on ourselves, which is a bit sad. Adam's beaten you, Ruth. He's had 954 past lives. I would like to know how you count those and who told you that. So, okay. That's a challenge for you. Let me know who told you and how they told that. So Karen's horoscopes. There she is. She is a most beautiful lady. A very Adam. She's just said you win. But Karen is a lovely, lovely, beautiful lady. And there are some Angela's just learned asked. Sorry. How do we learn about past lives? There are some past life regressionists out there. Please go to people who are recommended and have a look at their, please have a look at their Google reviews or their website and testimonials, because there's a lot of people who say they can do something and they actually can't. Or they've done a little dabbling, or it's like people who do mediumship courses. They do one course and then they say they're a medium, and then they go out and do the most irresponsible stuff. But that's another topic, and I know everybody knows that I'm extremely hot and passionate about that. So it's the same in every profession. Get qualified, do it properly, get recommendations, make sure you go to good people. Okay. So, okay. I was really, really pleased this week. I'll take Karen off and put me back up. So if anybody wants to find me, this is all my information. But I was really pleased this week because I mentioned this earlier on that I nearly ended the broadcast then. Oops. I was really, really pleased to see that there are so much going on online, so many churches running, so many services still running, even though COVID and lockdown is not so bad, especially in this country. I know it is elsewhere, but I think the live things that we've been doing with mediumship especially has been a lifeline for so many people, and I know in the UK it is extremely important. Let me just read Miss Silver 41 question. I'm having trouble with the lessons. If somebody loses a child to cancer, how would we understand the lesson? If the parent asks, I can understand, but how do you find the right words for the parent? Okay, that's a difficult one and very controversial. You can never get over the loss of a child, and to outlive your child is awful. Now, there's a lot of things around that, but one of the things that I've noticed is what goes on in that person's life after after that has happened, after that passing has happened. And I know the people that I've dealt with who have lost a child, I've seen them grow in strength, in stature, and they've helped so many other people because of their loss. They've grown. I know Jack is on here, and Jack, I know you've lost a child. I hope you don't mind me saying, but I know when I look at the work that you do with your mediumship, and you're now helping hundreds and hundreds of people because of the work that you've taken up. And I don't know if you took that work up because of losing your beautiful girl. But again, I'm seeing so many people who come into this work because of the loss of a loved one, or they just change everything. They go into charities, they help people to deal with grief, or they set up grief counseling. There's so many different things, but there are words, and with experience you can find the right words. But if you're working really closely with spirit, so as a medium and not a psychic, because there's a difference. When you're a psychic, you're working with the energies around a person. So I call that ground level mediumship. But when you're dealing with spirit, you are listening to what they've got to say, and then you're listening to what they're telling you to tell the person who's lost a child. And that is absolutely wonderful. So, okay. So I've got to come back to all the good things that are happening online. And me being me, I've been volunteering to do all sorts of things. And I've been getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do a 6 a.m. church service or a mediumship demonstration. And I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and think, oh my goodness me, I still need to be in bed. What am I doing? How am I going to connect to spirit? How am I going to do this? And I say this to my students, whatever fears and nerves you have, I have them too. I've always had them. And somebody once said to me, if you lose the fear and the nerves, then stop doing this, because then you become complacent. You're welcome, Miss Silver. That's absolutely fine. But we do not want to become, or we do not want to come from a place of ego. We want to come from a place of heart and soul and love. There's that again, that love. And working with spirit actually gives us that. So we do not want to become, oh, look at me, I'm the great medium. Oh, look at me, I can do this. And oh, look at me, I've helped this, this whole list of people. That's not what this work is about. This work is about trying to do it in a very quiet way, says she, in public. But I think what I'm trying to do is to not sort of sing my praises. I'm trying to say to everybody, we've all got the skills, we've all got the abilities, we've all got the knowledge. We're all born with the ability. We've just got to learn to tap back into it and to learn how to focus it and then to use it. So, and I'm really proud of the fact that I can do that. I love teaching. Everybody that knows me knows I'm passionate about the work that I do, but the teaching more so. So make sure if you're a medium, you've got proper training and you know what you're talking about. And I think that is very important because, as Miss Silver has just pointed out, we are dealing with people who have lost a child or lost their wife or lost their husband or even lost an animal. And we've got to be able to help them to overcome that and to let them know that their loved one, no matter who, why, what, is still there. And I know the other night we were talking about, at dinner, we were talking about when somebody takes their own life. And I believe that everybody's time is numbered. We've all got, when we come into this world, our time for going out is already marked. Hello, Aylin is from Turkey. I met her in, I think it was Istanbul, all those years ago, and you're still in touch with me. That's absolutely wonderful. It's lovely to see you. Thank you. So, yes, so, forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, so who do you go to when you want a reading? Where do you go? I would suggest that you get recommendations, like I said about the other things, teachers, astrologers, whatever it was, past life regressionists. Get somebody that is recommended. Look at what people say in testimonials. And you can even check people out if you want to. So I think that is extremely important. So if you want a medium, get a recommendation. And if anybody wants to talk to me about that, please, I can help you. I can give you recommendations, because I won't just go, well, what about me? Because, I might not be the right fit for you. And that's important as well, The teachers, not every, yes, I have had experience with Reiki, Ruth. Every teacher's not right for you as a person. I know myself, I had piano teachers. I had one who was, oh my goodness me, she was awful. And I had two others who were amazing. And the two others who were amazing, I learned incredibly well. My mediumship teachers, I've been very, very blessed actually with my mediumship teachers. I've had some incredible ones along the way, and I would never knock any one of them. But at school, I had a teacher that told me I was absolutely rubbish at maths, and I just got the cane across the back of the legs. Well, I was rubbish at maths, and I still am rubbish at maths. Sandra's listening, and she knows that. But I'll admit that I'm rubbish at maths. So it didn't matter what the teacher was like. I was not going to learn because I was not capable of doing numbers. So, but the right teacher will come, and they say when you're ready, the right teacher will come. I saw that phrase yesterday, and I'm a great believer in that. But as I said, not every teacher is right for you. So if you're looking to learn, again, get recommendations. See what other people say about a teacher in a subject that you're interested in. Yeah, I was going to say, Ruth, I've used Reiki with, so I do healing, a lot of healing. And most of you know that I put names in my lovely healing book. I'll put it that way so you can actually see it. There we go. This is lovely. It's actually from Hever Castle. It's got all the prayers of Anne Boleyn in it. And I do believe, I started off as a healer, a hands-on healer at the Spiritualist Church. I've learned lots of things along the way. but I gave up the hands-on healing because I would get messages and I was told I couldn't do messages. I had to do just the healing. So I realized that messages for people were more healing in some respects. But I still do the absent healing, hence the book. And I still incorporate that with the Reiki training that I've had. So I've been taken to Reiki 2, I think. Or was it Reiki 3? I can't remember. But I'm not a master, but I think I did level 1 and 2. So you do mix them. You do a mix and match thing. And it's the same with mediumship. You know, you go to different teachers, you put a little bit from each one together, you mix and match, and you make your own package. So Bella said you were talking about individuals who take care of their own lives, and we have a specific amount of time here. Yes, and I still can't remember what relation that had, Bella, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, I think it was we come here for a reason. Our time when we come is already decided, our time to leave is already decided when we come into this world. I'm a great believer in that. And you know, it's really funny because I watch somebody who dies death and you think, well, it wasn't their time. It really wasn't their time. But when it is their time, that's when they go. So when people have taken their own lives, I again believe that their time was meant. But I know that when I've brought back people who have taken their own lives, the stories they tell about the work that they're doing on the other side is phenomenal. And when you actually tell the loved ones that, you know, what they're achieving, what they're doing, how they're helping other people who've done what they did, or they're trying to help people Earthside to not make that choice and decision, it makes such a difference to especially parents, I know. So yeah, I know it's a very big subject, but yeah, it's that's my beliefs and my thoughts. You know, everybody has different beliefs and thoughts. So always recommendations. Classes, you know, if you want to do mediumship, go to a recommended teacher is what I would say. And again, I can help you with that. Now, some people have actually put some things up here. I hear Val's pretty good at readings. Thank you. I've been doing it for 30 years, so I think by now, if I was rubbish, I would have been not doing it anymore. And I do. It's funny because I've been doing some live dems this week and getting up at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock to do them for 6 o'clock. And I was doing one, and one of my students was on the platform, and I didn't know this particular thing about him, and it never, ever, ever come up in the 10 years that I've known him. And I just said, I've got a father, I know how he's passed, I know it's dad. I said, but all he's showing me is a man doing backflips on a gym mat. And my students, this guy that I've known for, he's more than a student, he's a friend, put his hand up and he said, that's my dad. And I said, well, I know your dad's only just passed, but in all the time I've known you, that has never come up in any classes we've done or in any demonstrations of mediumship that I've seen. So he said, but he was 16 and I've just been clearing out photographs. I've got the photograph. Well, what fantastic information is that? So I say to my students, I want you to give the golden nugget, the wow factor, the real, you know, a lot of it is, and I'm going to say mundane, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but, you know, a lot of us have got nans that, you know, cooked and wore an apron and had grey hair and wore glasses. But how many of those nans actually did backflips on a gym mat or had a glass eye and a wooden leg? I know one of my students got up one day and said, oh, I've got this grandmother and she's cooking, and, you know, the general description. And he said, I know Val's going to hate me, but she's actually got a glass eye and a wooden leg. And somebody put their hand up and said, that was my grandmother. So that is the information that we're looking for to give that, you know, that absolute 100% proof that you've got the loved one there. So I'm hoping that I'm good at my readings, Miss Silver. Okay, you have to watch the rest on replay, but lovely that you joined us. Thank you very much for that. Megan has just put, I got messages for the person when I do Reiki, yeah. So I'm able to give them a reading after their Reiki session. Now, when you do that, Megan, and I know I'm going to be seeing you on Saturday, so we can talk some more about this, but make sure you do healing and it's healing. And readings is a different thing altogether. This was something that I had to learn to separate out many, many years ago when I first started. So when you do the Reiki or whatever healing it is, that's one thing. If you feel that you've got something else, you have to ask them, the recipient, for permission to give you or to give them that message. That is really, really important, because otherwise you are invading their privacy. And that is not a good thing to do, because I only give a reading to somebody if they come to me and ask. I don't go to somebody in the street or somebody online or somebody in a class and say, oh, by the way, I've got so-and-so wants to talk to you and tell you blah, 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 because they haven't asked me for that. So I haven't got permission to do that. And this, again, the responsibility that goes with this work. You could be talking to somebody that doesn't have the same beliefs as you. They could be, a born-again Christian. I had somebody that was a born-again Christian that had been given information by a spiritualist, and they were absolutely freaked out about the whole thing. So we've all got our own likes and dislikes, our own beliefs and non-beliefs. So we've got to ask permission. Remember that responsibility is extremely, extremely up there. Okay. I'll put Danny in the book, Bella. So please, anybody else that wants healing for anybody, let me know. Okay, well done, Megan, that you asked that permission. Very important. Alan, am I coming to Melbourne again? Yeah, when your borders open for long enough. So I was going to come down in March, but I'm going to head north instead this time. But I will, later in the year, I will come down. But I'm just waiting for it to be a safe period, because I don't want to come down and get stuck, or I don't want to get so far and think, oh, that's not going to happen. So let's just get a little bit more stability with things, and then I will be. At the moment, I'm going up to the Blue Mountains. If anybody's interested, I'm putting those dates out. I'm going up to Tari in May. I'm going up to the Sunshine Coast in March. All those dates are coming up, and there'll be workshops and readings and church services as well. So there's lots, I feel like an elastic band sometimes. I stretch myself so much. But listen, I wouldn't do it if I couldn't, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't want to, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't have the ability. And you know what? I thank Spirit every day. This was something I was talking about to students today. You have to say thank you to the spirit world for giving you the connections, to giving you the amazing ability to be able to connect. No, Cheryl, no readings tonight. It is literally just sharing experiences with you. Yes, I will be doing a workshop on the sunny coast, Tammy, and it will be lovely to see you again. So just keep an eye on my website and my Facebook page, but everything that I do is on my website, which is up here, and my Facebook page, which is just Val Hood. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, Cheryl, but anyway, yes, great advice. Thank you. I like that, Angela. Now, I wanted to share something funny before I go, and I know this is something that I haven't shared before. I've had some very, very wonderful experiences while I've been in Australia, and of course I've now been here. Came first time in 2010, so it's 10 years, 11 years. And so you're compelled to say thank you. You're a darling. And you must say thank you. It's important. So let me share this experience, because I saw it written down somewhere. I'd obviously written it down to share with you at another time, but I just didn't get round to it. So when I first came to Sydney, I was house sitting for a lady. Yes, Ian's just said people are vulnerable after Reiki, so you have to tread gently. Yes, absolutely. So, okay, don't spoil my story because it's good. Okay. So I came up from Wangaratta, northeast Victoria, and that was 6 years ago. And the first thing that I did here was I got a house sit. because I didn't know where else to go, what to do. But I knew I couldn't stay where I was. And I was doing this house sit, and I had 4 chooks, a cat, an old cat, a very old dog, and it was up in the North Shore in Sydney. And anyway, I was there and I was minding the animals, doing my bit and doing my work as well where I could. And I put some washing on the line one day. I know this sounds a bit weird, but I put washing on the line. And then I suddenly saw this bird. And I thought, what are you doing? I thought it was going to be, messing all over my nice clean washing. So I was watching him very, very carefully. And it was a currajong. So I watched this beautiful bird, and I paid attention to all the birds. I think I know most names and most bird calls for them all because they fascinate me. I know we've got beautiful birds in the UK, but the ones over here just amaze me. When you come to your window and you've got king parrots looking at you or cockadoos looking at you. Anyway, this currajong is sitting on my washing line, and I'm watching him and I'm thinking, what are you doing? Anyway, he flew off, and I thought, oh, I went and had a look. And I know this sounds really horrible, but he actually had a possum's tail. And where I pegged my washing on the line, he flicked the possum's tail around the washing line. Okay, I thought, well, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to leave it. Anyway, I went out and I brought my washing in, but I left the whatever he put up there on the line. And a little while later, I'm watching, and this currajong, I'm sure that's what you call it, currajong, currawong. I always get it wrong because there's places and birds called similar. He actually unflicked this tail and took it away. Now, do you know, to do that once would have been amazing, but he actually did it 3 times. I was absolutely blown away by that. So I don't know, was that him wanting to connect? Because he's a wild bird, I remind you, a wild bird. But he was following or copying me, and I just thought that was incredible. I've never seen it since. I never saw it before, but I just think, that was one very clever bird that was mimicking. Maybe they mimic, I don't know. I thought that was lyrebirds that do that with sound. But anyway, he was mimicking me by putting something on the washing line and then taking it off. But that happened 3 times. A currawong. Thanks, Bella. Anyway, so beautiful, beautiful story, but such an incredible story. And I've got lots of little things like that have happened to me since I've been here. And I think since being in Australia, I've become more aware of things and circumstances and people around me. And I'm really, really happy that I've done that. So, okay, I've shared my story now. That was exciting because I just couldn't believe it. Anyway, I'm just going to put up some information here about Connected Spirits, because Tuesday, which is tomorrow, is Brett's church, and Brett has got on Jenny Doherty at 7 o'clock Tuesday evening, Australia time, and that's Sydney time. And birds always bring messages, our messages, yeah. He was probably helping me do my washing, I think. So Brett's church with Jenny Doherty. If you haven't seen Jenny Doherty, she is amazing. She's got the most accurate information. She's got the most funny sense of humour, and she laughs as much as she can all the way through it, but just so accurate. She's on tomorrow. And anybody in the Sydney area, I've got a workshop in Wollongong on Saturday, and I've got a few places left. It's filling up a bit quicker than I thought, but I have got a few places left if anybody's interested. And that's at the Wollongong Spiritual Church. And again, that information is all on my website. And if you've got any names for healing, I'm going to put Richard Flanagan on because he's in hospital with an issue to do with his diabetes. So Kathy, I have, if you're on here, or anybody that knows Kathy, I have put him on the healing list. So let me have your healing names, and I will put them. Don't forget, I'm on next week, and oh my gosh, what have I got on this week myself? I've got a couple of live things at silly o'clocks in the morning. I know, let me just have a quick look. I've got on the weekend, I think I've got some Sunday morning. So I've got a workshop on Saturday in Wollongong, and then Sunday morning 6:30 a.m. I've got a divine service. It makes me laugh, you know, when I see people that have got spelling mistakes. Bye, Lorraine. Nice to see you again. Maxine, most definitely, I'll put her on my healing list. But I see spelling mistakes. So divine spirit is spelled D-I-V-I-N-E, not D-E-V-I-N-E. And I know somebody picked me up on renovations the other day. I spelled it with double N, and that is for me a no-no. So yeah, bye Jill, lovely to see you again, and stay warm over there and stay safe. Okay. Yep. Oh, and I'm going camping the weekend after. I'm very excited about that. So, power of positive thinking. Remember, it is very important that you be as positive as you can. Stay in that positive energy as much as you can, and yes, just try to be positive. And listen, I remember when I first started doing the positive thinking, I was in a really bad situation for myself. Oh, thank you, Sue. Happy birthday. I like that. Thank you. And I changed my attitude to positivity. And I thought positive songs, always look on the bright side of life. Things can only get better. Don't worry, be happy. And it worked. And before I knew it, instead of being negative with an odd positive, I was positive with an odd negative. So we can make those changes to our own lives. That is so important. Thank you for all the beautiful birthday wishes. And I know that I have worked for my birthday, and I know, you know, I wouldn't want it any other way. And because I've got technology working for me today, I can do the singing, and you can join in. So let's send those happy healing energies out to everybody that's on here today, and anybody that is connected to you. So every home represented here. Imagine that you're all linking arms with one, or linking hands with one another. Do you know, today my little granddaughter came over and I showed her my hand, which I got a blister from gardening. She put her hand on me and she said, "I'm healing it, Nanny." I was just blown away. This is the 3-year-old. So let's join hands. Thank you, Aileen. Let's let's connect with one another. Let's send that healing energy out. So send it out with your left hand. Receive that lovely warm energy coming back, that wonderful flow of energy through your right hand. And know that when you're sending it out, it is linking to every single person that is on here. And then I want you to expand your energies. So imagine that you're a bubble, and that you're pumping that bubble up. It's a good way of describing it. And you're pumping the bubble up to fill your own home, and then outside of your home, then your own town, then your own country, then the world, then the universe, and then the outer planets. And so that energy from each one of us has expanded right out, and then we're going to pull it right back, and we're going to send it to every person that is needing that healing in our world. We can do this. We can all do that. You know, so many people say, it's only me, I can't do it, I'm just one little person. Every little person can make a big difference. Okay, so look at what my granddaughter did tonight. "I'm healing you, Nanny." We can do that. If she can say that at 3 years old, we can do absolute magic. So there you go. The book, The Magic. We can create our own magic. These are really good books to read, by the way. So let's just sing a little bit of this song. And you know I love singing. Okay, we'll have to whiz it forward a little bit. There we go. For you and for me, join in. And know that healing energy is going out across our universe and coming back to everybody that needs it. Make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world, make it a better place. Thank you, Bella. For you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. My voice is not going to get there. For you and for me and the entire human race, there are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. I'm going to stop it there. I can't sing anymore. My throat has gone tonight. We've had winds and it's affected my throat. So Michelle's just come on. Fabulous birthday wishes to keep you doing what you are doing. It's a tonic to your health indeed. Absolutely it is. You know, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't want to. And it does. It really fills me with love and with passion, and it invigorates me. So help yourselves. Use these books. Use the self-help books. But, you know, you can help anybody around you, and you can help yourself. And it's not selfish to ask for the healing help for yourself. So thank you, every one of you that's joined and participated. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I'm now going to go and have a nice drink and sit quietly on my own, which is lovely. And thank you. I couldn't do this without all of you. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here talking to myself, and I know I'm not. So that makes me happy, fills me with love and joy. That the work that I do is important to you. It's important to me, but it's nice to know it's important to you as well. I'm watching some of you on here that I've made a difference to, or not that I've made a difference. The connection has made a difference, but the working with spirit, the information from spirit, that help from spirit has really lifted your soul and lifted your spirit, and put you in a better place in your lives as well. So, okay, I'm going to go. I could sit and talk all night. You know that. But I'll save a little bit for next week. Lorraine, I'm coming to see you soon. I'm hoping. Hello, Tim. Oh, how lovely to see you. And thank you for the birthday wishes as well. So God bless you all. Thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for being the part of my life that allows me to do this work. And I will see you the same time, same channel next week. Much love to all of you. Thank you.